with Mallow-Top Reese's Cups. And then we're going to thank heaven, 7-Eleven. Do you think strawberry jelly in a peanut butter cup is going to be a good idea, Brian?
It could go either way.
Do you think it will strike your funny bone? We're going to thank heaven, 7-Eleven.
I'm just worried.
Someone didn't mute. Is that Amy?
No, mine is muted.
7-Eleven.
I thought it was me.
Echo. Jelly in a peanut butter cup is going to be a good idea, Brian.
It could go either way. Oh, that was me, folks. I'm sorry.
Hey, it wasn't me. I'm so happy.
I just assumed it was.
Amy's my witness. I even checked beforehand because she was like, "Oh, I better check." I was like, "Oh, I should too." And I even turned mine off.
We both checked beforehand. So
Hey, Danette. It was actually just like all 8 of us there for a moment. This high quality show that we do.
No, I'm not going to leave a coaster on my neck here, but you know.
That reminds me of the time Flavor Flav tweeted at me.
Because of the big.
It better be. You know what time it is.
You know what he actually tweeted at me was just wow ...
That sounds like something a lot of people might just tweet at you.
Right. Well, I mean, it was a selfie of me and my Flavor Flav action figure. And I tweeted it at Flavor Flav, and he just replied, wow ... And I should have actually quit all social media then, because it's basically, I mean, then we started this, and it's all been downhill since.
Hey, Sabrina.
I think I figured out why, like, people watched our live streams, like, after the fact for like a minute, and then are like, maybe not.
No.
This.
Hey, we just need a minute. Come on. If they're not hooked in a minute, no.
Yeah. I mean, we have crab chips from China. I didn't show those off, but they have Amy has the bag, but they have a big thumbs up on them for fried crab potato chips.
I've got a friend who's going to love these.
I have a friend who's going to love them too. Me. And I'm not going to love them because I'm going to love the flavor. I'm going to love them because I'm going to see Brian's face when he eats.
I'm not going to smell them yet.
Danny, I noticed I made the event last night, I think it was, and I put the description there. I noticed that you added hashtag Bryan face to it.
Yeah, you know.
Hi, Pops.
I did add hashtag Bryan face.
Corey.
Fingers crossed. We've had some like very pleasant weeks for you. And that's not what makes the money for us.
Hey, Corey. I know this week it's all peanut butter things, which is great. So it's like my love and then crabs.
Your love and crabs.
Story of my life.
Yeah, love and crabs.
Heather.
The Brian Pierce story. That's my unauthorized biography of you.
Coming soon to
Heather.
You think that'll be on Lifetime?
Hallmark? I don't know, not Hallmark.
I don't know that you're worthy of a Lifetime or Hallmark movie. You're not.
I mean, it'll be on a cable channel.
You're not a woman.
Oh,
He's
the
not?
Cinemax.
Yeah.
Friday night.
Late night.
There you go.
Like just around midnight. There'll be some like public domain music involved.
Hey, Beth.
Should we do a podcast, y'all?
I was going to do the pause up, but I had to say hi first. So.
You know what? We're recording this on Saturday night, which we usually don't do, but it worked out. And we were like, well, you know, it's not like people are going to be out, you know, partying or whatever.
I mean,
so.
Maybe
I
if you're
never
in Florida, but
anything.
you know.
Well,
Anyway.
Shall we?
But yeah, okay. Oh, we're pausing. We're putting the pause up, Danny. Don't you mess it up this week.
This is the Food Scientist Podcast. I am your host, Amy Zajac. I am here with Bryan Pierce.
Hello, everyone.
And Danny Sussman.
Hello, everybody, and a special shout out to the Sci-Fi Channel viewers.
Yes, and we will have our news and experiences. Then we're going to start into the Easter candy season with Mallow-Top Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. We'll move on to another brand of peanut butter cups called 7-Eleven, but not the...
They're new. Yeah, that new brand called 7-Eleven, just a little convenience store chain across the country.
I said another. Well, new for us. We're going to get some crab chips. Yes, crab flavored potato chips.
Fried crab chips from Lay's of all
Lay's.
brands.
Lay's makes it in China. For some reason, they have not brought. And actually, I believe that they're fried crab. It's not just any crab. It's fried crab.
And then we're going to end with some snack cakes, including back to our friend Reese's and our other friend Drake cakes.
Yeah, the brand new Reese's snack cakes. They just hit stores. And
we talked about these months ago, and they're finally here.
They're finally here. And then Funny Bones, which were doing almost the same thing since, like, I don't know, 60 years ago.
Yeah.
But you never find.
So that said, I have news. Do you guys have news?
I have very exciting news that impacts just me. So I want to talk about it.
Wait, is this your pizza update, Danny?
This is my pizza update.
Go
if
ahead,
you remember, last
that.
week in the podcast, I was lamenting my my breakfast pizza trash food experience. And trash food not being that it's junky, in that it either went to or should have been in a trash can. And I was lamenting that Heggy's Pizza had stopped production of their breakfast pizza, and that I email them every month or so to find out when they're bringing it back. It's finally back. Heggy's breakfast pizza has returned. They told me where to find it. I have one sitting in my freezer. I could not be happier. So I didn't eat it yet, so it can't be my food experience. But Heggy's breakfast pizza is back for those people that live in Minnesota and have access to Heggy's.
Minnesota.
In fact, I was carrying mine around the supermarket, and one of the workers was like, "Oh, that's my favorite pizza." I was like, "The breakfast pizza?" He's like, "No, just the brand, the Heggy's. I love Heggy's." And I was like, "Yeah, Heggy's is great."
It's a lot.
Like,
which Heggy's is good.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm like, "Have you had the breakfast pizza?" And he's like you could see like his eyes light up. He's like, "No, I haven't." I was like, "You need to have that. Of all the Heggy's, it's the best." And he's like, "I'm gonna get one of those tonight." And I was like, "Just so you know, when they just came back, when they restocked them, they did not put them with the rest of the Heggy's pizzas. They put them with the breakfast foods. And all of the breakfast pizzas are with the frozen breakfast foods, like the frozen pancakes and like frozen toaster strudels, even those like the breakfast hot pockets. That's where the breakfast frozen pizzas are.
Yeah.
Even though like the major brands almost all make a breakfast pizza, they store them separately. So if you don't have breakfast pizza in your store, it's because they've moved them away, because they don't want them to overshadow the other frozen pizzas, because they are better. So they've like put them down on the bottom shelf with the breakfast foods.
I'm sorry, I got lost in my own thoughts for a second. I was thinking, what if Totino's did a breakfast pizza, and how nasty would that be? I love Totino's.
Well, would that be one tiny speck of egg in that pizza roll and one tiny speck of cheese?
You know what you could do, Brian? Is get like the Totino's like ham pizza or sausage pizza, and then just crack an egg on top of it and put it in the oven and see what happens.
You know what? I'm on TikTok now. That might be a video for there.
You know, I think that's like an interesting breakfast pizza debate too. Like the frozen ones, the eggs are scrambled. But I've had some people, when I discuss my love of breakfast pizza, because I'm sure you know that I talk about this a lot, that believe that it should only be served with a cracked egg on top and then baked that way, not with the scrambled. So anyways, thank you for indulging my news story.
I have less Danny-centric news.
Boo!
Kellogg's is coming out with what they call jumbo snacks. Included in that mix is something they call s'mores, but they spell it with a Z, no apostrophe either. So S-M-O-R-Z, and snacks is with an X, because why not? And I mean, apparently they're beginning to hit the shelves now. We have not had them yet, though. And there's some other varieties, I believe, of the jumbo snacks, but this is the one that hit my eye because of Bryan, strangely, of his love of s'mores. But
you know, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't their cereal also spelled with a Z, s'mores?
Well, interestingly enough, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. No, but they smell s'mores correctly when they show you what a s'more looks like. So
you know what I think that they should do is replace the M with an N.
Snores?
Snores, because that's boring.
Well, you know.
S'more snacks are kind of being overdone to the point of it's not even s'mores anymore.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's like way too many.
But we'll see.
They're spreading like spores, like mold spores.
The s'mores ones were featured in Kellogg's Q4 2020 earnings release.
Amy, if you keep talking about this, I'm going to keep making puns.
All right, so I have news as well. Now, Amy's talking about jumbo snacks. Hostess is coming out with a new snack cake. Or
what?
I don't even know if it's a snack cake, but baby bunt cakes. Cinnamon swirl and lemon drizzle. So I don't know why are we making our snacks tiny? We need comfort food. We need something huge, large, and in charge.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing I can think of, like, why else would you make a small, tiny snack other than that way you won't feel that bad about eating the whole package, maybe?
I know why. Because if you're going to make a bundt cake, you have to soak it in alcohol, and they don't want you to die of alcohol poisoning.
Well, that's thoughtful of Hostess.
Yeah.
That's the only thing it can be. It's interesting that Hostess is doing that because when I was on my little road trip, I did see like another company was making like little individual bundt cakes. And for a moment, I was like, oh, should I get those for the podcast? And I was like, no.
What flavor were they? Or flavor?
I don't know. There was a bunch of them. And I was just like, no.
Yeah,
like they're a very Minnesota thing, right? You see it because the company that makes the bundt pans is based here. So there's a lot of bundt cake stuff in Minnesota. It's boring. It's another s'nores. Like a s'nores bundt cake.
All right. Amy, did you have any experiences this week?
I actually thought of one, but if you guys have better ones, I can hold on. Or if you want me to go.
If you have a bad one, you could just, go for it.
Well, I was going to ask you guys, and everybody, when's the last time you tried, assuming you eat fast food and eat chicken, extra crispy KFC?
Ooh, it's been a minute.
I don't think I've tried it since childhood.
Oh, like I was thinking more like 8-9 months.
So I tried it again recently because apparently I'm on a fast food kick. I went to Taco Bell last week. I went to KFC this week. And I don't know what possessed me to try it because I remember hating it as a kid. My grandma loved it, but I always remember it being like hard, not just crispy, but hard.
It's the extra dredge. Yeah.
Brown. It was actually pretty good. I mean, for KFC, right? It was actually crispy because I have found the original recipe has become softer and stuff.
That's because people are buying it less and less, and it's sitting out longer before you get it.
Oh, maybe. So extra crispy now seems to me like normal crispy, like if you have a crispy fried chicken. So not that I go that often, but next time I go, I may be converted to extra crispy girl.
If I was going to go for the crispy, I would just go straight to the popcorn chicken and just cut the chicken out of the mix entirely.
There's that too, yeah.
Or I believe their chicken tenders have a lot of batter on it too.
Yeah.
I mean, this wasn't so much extra batter. It just seemed to be more properly fried. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly, I don't think you go to KFC for the chicken. You go for the coating.
True.
Agree. And the biscuits. The biscuits are good.
Yes.
Yeah. So I would look to minimize the chicken as much as possible. And that's why I would go to don't ever ask them how they make the popcorn chicken, like what actual chickens, you don't want to know. But if you're into the crispy, just skip the chicken part. You don't want anyway. Like when I was a kid, I remember the rumors that, the Colonel was breeding chickens with 6 legs.
See, if I want actual good fried chicken for fast food, I'd be going back to Cane's.
Yeah, you didn't have that rumor in your high school? In your middle school?
I remember vaguely something about fried chickens. I don't know about 6 legs.
They'd be like, they're making weird chickens. That's how they get them so cheap, is they're breeding chickens with 6 legs.
You know what? With the popcorn chicken, I would probably be happy if there were no chicken in it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
call it KFC popcorn, just batter.
In the chat, Heather just eats the batter and throws away the chicken.
I would do that.
Right. That's you. Right. If you just gave me that, like the crispy part, and then the mashed potatoes and their gravy. I don't know. Their gravy is gross, but so good.
Their gravy is so salty, but
I know. Like, hello, that's what I'm there for.
And that's why I love the mashed potato bowls too that Corey was mentioning on the chat. I for somebody that doesn't go that often, I have tried a lot of things.
My father in the chat did clarify that the chickens actually had 5 legs.
Allegedly, we don't want them to sue us. If this was
allegedly, that was the rumor. The rumor was, I see my sister. Yeah, 6 legs and no head. So things were dark in my family when it came to KFC.
Because we are talking about KFC, I learned something that Danny, I feel like this is something I maybe learned from you a while ago and forgot.
So it's probably a lie that I told you just to see.
It could be. Yeah. But KFC's Twitter account, have you heard this, Danny? Do you know what I'm going to say?
I don't know. Tell me.
They only follow 11 people. It is the Spice Girls. So all 5 Spice Girls, and then 6 guys named Herb, different guys named Herb, for the 11 herbs and
spices.
I might have shown that to you. I will take credit for that.
Follow salt and pepper.
Well, no, that's not. It's not 11 herbs and spices and salt.
After the podcast, they
salt, pepper are spices, Brian.
No, actually, salt is not. Salt is a seasoning.
Well, it's a mineral, but still.
Yeah.
Most people
so it doesn't count as a spice.
About seasoning.
It's neither an herb nor a spice. It's salt. There's only 2 things that don't change the flavor, and that is salt and acid. Those intensify flavors. That's the difference between an herb, a spice, and a seasoning.
And when people talk about their spices, their spice rack, there's always salt and pepper in there.
Yeah. Really? I was wondering what happened to them. Is Spinderella in there with them too?
Yeah, Spinderella's on the little carousel.
They're all there, right? They just sit on everyone. Like, I can't, like, what happened to them? Oh, they're sitting on the Spinderella in my cabinet.
There was a documentary about them recently, but we're a food podcast, so
I saw them. I saw Salt and Pepper live a couple of years ago.
Okay, before we delve down into hashtag Free Britney, let's move on to others.
I have my experience. I had butter cookies for days.
Ooh.
Now, what are butter cookies for days?
Butter cookies for days. So these are very hard to find unless you live like within about 3 miles from me. But I did not know this until recently when I learned about butter cookies for days, is that in the Chicago public schools back in the day, they served a butter cookie that was beloved. Like, if you went to public school in Chicago, in the cafeteria, you ate their butter cookies, and they were delicious. And they're known for having 4 ingredients: flour, sugar, butter, and vanilla. That's all that's involved in them. And they would do that. And there's a guy who lives in North Minneapolis, and he was down on his luck and decided to just like go into business for himself. And he spent time just trying to perfect the ratio of those ingredients and make the perfect butter cookies. And then he was kind of hustling and just knocking on doors of businesses to get them to buy his cookies to sell them. And then Hy-Vee is a grocery store chain here, and the one by my house picked them up from him. And they're starting to sell they've sold so well in that one store, they're starting to sell in other places too, but it's just, one guy. And so I've been eating these Chicago butter cookies for days. They're so good. But it doesn't, I'm going to be honest, it doesn't make me want to buy more of them. It makes me want to learn to make them. But Chicago public school butter cookies.
All right. Well,
all right.
Do they have a website if people want to order them online? Do you know?
If you search for butter cookies for days on Facebook, you can kind of find his stuff. Okay. It's one guy. He's either baking cookies or knocking on doors trying to sell cookies. He doesn't really do a whole lot of marketing.
That's nice.
Yeah.
My experience is kind of just I'm going to be Jerry Springer here and give my final thoughts from last week. We talked about the gluten-free Oreos. And, I said at the time, we compared them to the original, and I said that they were the good twin because they were accessible for more people and they were similar enough where that was okay. I have to kind of hone my thought on that a little bit. I'm still sticking with that, but if I'm going to just eat the cookie as is, I would just take the double stuff and eat those. They were very good just to eat right out of the package. Whereas usually an Oreo, I'm not going to eat it. I'm going to dunk it. So, these I could just eat and that was fine.
So that's the ringing endorsement, is you could just eat them. I have a hard time believing you couldn't just eat Oreos beforehand.
Yeah, like
that's what I'm going to kind of call
Oreo,
BS.
Eat.
That like you had to. I've seen you eat a lot of Oreos, and I'm pretty confident you can eat them without dunking.
Regular Oreos.
Yeah, but you can eat regular Oreos without dunking.
You can't eat an Oreo without, like, you just, if there's no milk, you just stare at them paralyzed, and you're like, I can't do it.
Well, I don't feel like I've ever been locked in a room with Oreos where I didn't have access to milk.
But if you were, would you be able to eat them? Like, there you are, right? Like, you're in prison, right? At the buffet.
They're too hard, and I want to dunk them to make them soft, and that way you can take like 3 or 4, do them all at once, and have a nice little sandwich and eat it.
Do you have bad teeth?
No, I take care of my teeth.
Like, are you just getting, I guess, like, you're kind of like an old man sometimes. Like, you're just getting ready to be able to gum your foods, like, when you don't have teeth. Like, you need to soften up your Oreos.
You know what? It never hurts to practice for old age.
By gumming your Oreos.
Or hitting people with canes. Or
making soft, mushy cookie Oreos.
Or just knocking old ladies to the ground because you can.
Just put the Oreos in a bowl, pour the milk over them.
We better eat peanut butter cups.
Yeah, I suppose we should move on to the Mallow-Top peanut butter cup.
Before we move on, Amy, I did that recently, just FYI.
Knocked an old lady over?
No. Put Oreos in a bowl and
then you can mash them with your spoon a little to make them spoon-sized.
Yeah. Yeah, let's move on now. Reese's Mallow.
Yeah, so this is from the Easter candy. I think it's weird that they're calling this an Easter candy because there's really nothing Easter about it other than the eggs on the package.
Well, and I mean, it's marshmallow, and marshmallow, people think of Peeps. Peeps are traditional.
I was just thinking it could be a Peeps top peanut butter.
Yeah, so these are Reese's peanut butter cups with marshmallow flavored cream and milk chocolate.
So they're saying it's not white chocolate on top. It's mallow.
Yeah.
Marshmallow flavored.
Yeah, no, this is something that I normally would not be excited about because marshmallow is just kind of meh for me. And I think about the white chocolate peanut butter cups, and those work. So
surprisingly good.
They smell.
You know what made me sad, Brian? Some of the chocolate on the bottom stuck, which means it's not that fresh.
Yeah, mine too.
And my top layer is so thin you can see the peanut butter through it.
These are definitely not fresh.
These are definitely not marshmallow. Like, even eating the white chocolate, it doesn't really taste like marshmallow.
You know what, though? It is reminding me of a Fluffernutter sandwich. Peanut butter and marshmallow cream.
Now, the way you kick up a s'more is by replacing the chocolate with a peanut butter cup. I want more marshmallow flavor so that this tastes more like that.
Both layers, the chocolate layer and the mallow layer, are so thin on top and bottom.
Mm-hmm.
That's standard peanut butter cup thickness.
No, it's thinner than a normal peanut butter cup. At least mine is.
And you know what? Though it's kind of okay because the marshmallow layer is a little waxy.
Yeah, the marshmallow layer is not good. So I don't mind the thin top layer. I'd like just a normal bottom layer of chocolate.
These aren't bad. They aren't bad.
I mean, they're a peanut butter cup. At the end of the day, it's a peanut butter cup. It's an inferior peanut butter cup. But it's a peanut butter cup, and I would eat it. I'm going to have another one because science. I'm very intrigued, though, by the idea of adding another flavor into the mix.
The marshmallow flavor, I'm kind of digging it. It does complement.
It does, a little.
It also leads us into these other peanut butter cups.
Yeah.
That 7-Eleven is doing
Other
something. 7-Eleven, right? 7-Eleven convenience stores all over the country, except for Minnesota, really. They have their own flavors of peanut butter cups, and they have them with jelly and caramel in the peanut butter cup, not together. They make one with jelly and one with caramel.
I love the peanut butter and jelly idea. And it's rich milk chocolate made with creamy.
They also,
creamy peanut
I'm
butter.
opening up the jelly one. They also package them differently. You get the two on a tray and they're upside down. So you don't have the sticking bottom. They get a nice little swirl on the bottom.
I'm gonna have to take a picture before I eat it.
I'm excited about this. Actually, the peanut butter and jelly.
Okay, the jelly. All right.
I'm looking forward to that too.
That's not what I was expecting.
Mine was half and half.
That's like the jelly when you get the Whitman sampler and you get like the jelly candy.
This is weighty.
I had really high hopes for this, and I'm very disappointed.
How would you describe the jelly? Because it's not jelly.
It's gel.
Yeah.
It's goop.
It's
almost like
gel.
And there's something off about the chocolate.
I don't know if I should be eating it or styling my hair with it.
Yeah,
Despite
it's almost
being
like
real milk chocolate. It's not very chocolatey. I don't know.
You ready to try the caramel, Bryan?
You know I am.
The creamy caramel, which I don't know that caramel should be, or caramel, depending, should be creamy. But here we are. I do like the packaging. I mean, it's wasteful, but it does take care of the cup better than the Reese's packaging.
Yeah, I like the packaging.
That also is like when you get the box of candy and there's a soft caramel in there. I was expecting like it to ooze out, like, string out.
Yeah.
Well, even the
I would like to see Reese's give this a go.
Mm-hmm.
Even the picture on the packaging doesn't show it as like streaming out or anything. It is a very thin layer of caramel at the bottom.
I'm really torn now, Bryan.
And you know what else? Even though the peanut butter way outweighs the caramel, I can barely taste the peanut butter.
Yeah. This is an inferior peanut butter cup with other flavor.
Mm-hmm. Out of curiosity, do they make a regular peanut butter cup?
I don't even remember now. I was so enamored by the idea of adding jelly and caramel. I just fixated on that when I saw them.
Well, and I like the idea of peanut butter and jelly together, but it's not a good jelly.
So there's 3 of these newfangled flavored peanut butter cups.
Oh my, there are. We've had 3 different kinds of peanut butter cups, so I suppose we could.
We could.
I don't know.
We could play FMK with them.
Yeah, Frolic with Mary Kill.
I feel like I might end up a serial killer.
Ooh, this one. Ooh, I'm not sure where to go with this one.
I think I know, but I'm not thrilled. But I got it. If you guys don't,
Go for it, Amy. I need time.
Yeah, I need time and more snacks.
Despite the faces I'm making while finishing up my caramel one, I'm gonna frolic with that. It's not great, but it had promise, so why not go for it, right? But once you know it's not great, the frolic's done. You tried it a little, it's gone. Bye-bye. Then I'm going to kill the PB&J. Again, it is an inferior peanut butter cup in general. These seem to be not very peanut buttery, very little jelly, and this chocolate wasn't very chocolatey. I don't know what to say. It was really enhanced with the PB&J one versus the caramel one. So that one's getting killed, which means I'm mirroring the Mallow-Top Reese's. I mean, it's half a normal Reese's peanut butter cup, and the Mallow-Top, even though it's a little waxy, does add a little something to it different that the others don't have. And it doesn't seem to detract as much as the others. I would still prefer regular Reese's, but that's not in the game here. So I'm mirroring the Mallow-Top.
I think I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm also going to marry the Mallow-Top because it is a Reese's peanut butter cup. And the marshmallow could easily make it a worse product, but it makes it its own product without being too distracting. I know that it's a Reese's. I know that's something that I do care about, and it is enhanced, not necessarily for the better. Maybe that's what enhanced means. So maybe not. But yeah, I'm just gonna say that's the one that no, other weeks maybe not. But in this lineup here, that's marriage material right there. You're getting the rose here. The one that is not going to get the rose is the creamy caramel because it wasn't caramel. It was not good. Nothing about it was how it should be. I didn't taste the peanut butter. The chocolate was not great. And nothing about it worked for me. It should have been really good, but it just tasted like cheap candy. That means I'm going to frolic with the strawberry jelly ones. It's something where maybe you go to the family reunion with your spouse and you see that cousin and you shouldn't, but they're there. And
Bryan, what happens at your family reunions? Aren't you from like almost Iowa?
No, I was saying your spouse's family reunion.
Yeah. I know your spouse.
Yeah. Oh, you do.
Yeah, I do.
I know yours too. But no, I was just saying that it's something where you're like, wow, this is a bad idea, and I'm such an awful person for doing this, and you do it, and it's sweet, but you're like, no, this is wrong on every level, and you feel bad about it for the rest of your life. And that's kind of how I feel eating this. I don't feel good about it.
You know what's interesting about that? I kind of want to marry it for the same reason. So I am going to marry the strawberry jelly peanut butter cups. Here's what I found, actually. Here's my pro tip. When we started eating these, we just we ate them like they were peanut butter cups. And if you take like a little nibble out of it, that's the caramel one. That one's gross. We'll get back to it.
I take little nibbles because I save them all for pictures.
If you take a little nibble out of it, you get a different ratio. Like once you're past that edge, because the edge has more chocolate. So when you just get past its kind of rough exterior, you just have a little bit of that tender jelly peanut butter inside. You're like, oh, I see that there's maybe something to this, and I'll marry that.
Mr. Sussman.
Yeah.
Have you now or have you ever been a nibbler?
With food.
I'm just going to say with anything, because I know the answer is no.
Oh no, the answer is yes. But I mean, it's Saturday night, but it's not that late. So I'm just going to move on to the frolic and talk about the Mallow-Tops. I am going to frolic with the Mallow-Tops. And the reason I'm frolicking with them is you both compare them to the Reese's as kind of like the lesser one, right? There's like the joy of a Reese's, and this will give you like, I don't know, 75% of the joy that you get from a Reese's peanut butter cup. But if you wait like 2 months, you're going to get 75% of the joy for 50% of the price tops, right? And that's really what that's a frolic. Like, you know what? It's cheap. I mean, it's not great, but it's better than nothing. Welcome to frolic territory. That's how that Mallow-Top. What's that?
It puts the lotion in the basket. Is that the phrase?
No, I just thought I'd leave the half the money on the counter, and then it was fine. It did what it needed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Not the greatest. I know that was like a half-hearted effort, but I know what I left on the table. So that's just how commerce works. And I'm going to kill the creamy caramel. You guys covered it. Gross. Get out of my house.
We think we know gross, but do you know what we're eating next?
What are we eating next?
Fried crab chips from Lay's.
Bryan knows.
Fried crab flavored potato chips.
Look at the
with
big
a big thumbs
up.
up. I feel like if you need to put like nothing that's super good has ever needed a thumbs up.
It's 100% something.
Yeah, that is true. It is 100% something.
Bryan, smell them.
That's like if somebody prefaces, like if somebody prefaces with like, I'm going to tell you the real truth, you know it's not the real truth. If there's a thumbs up, you know it's because it's not a thumbs up. Oh, look at that Bryan face. You're crabby.
I'm
crabby about.
Yet.
I kind of am.
I know.
They don't smell good. I mean, I smell.
Well,
They don't smell like the worst things we've smelled.
Yeah, true.
Bryan, you just had peanut butter cups, sort of.
That's crunch, guys.
Okay,
How could you be?
We have more peanut butter coming, so I can do this. Oh, that's. Oh.
Danny's trying
Ooh.
hard not to make a face, but he is.
No, I knew it was coming. Like I knew that I didn't have all of the flavor yet. Like I'm like, oh God, here it comes. Here it comes. And then there it was.
My started
That is
out.
crab. I'm going to give it to them. That is like cheap
That's fried
crab. Crab.
Did you know?
That is not like.
The flavor was so strong I couldn't even get my words out. It blocked it.
There's a little bit of spicy at the very tail end of that too, just for funsies.
Oh. And I don't know, Danny, you bought these and you sent them to us in packages. I don't know why. Oh, there's the spice.
Right?
Wow. I
That's
don't know why you gave me so many because they're not getting eaten.
I was just pouring them out of the bag. Amy, if you look at them very closely through a magnifying glass, you'll see they are indeed potato chips.
No, I was trying to figure out what this little thing was at the bottom to see if that was, but these aren't peppers. I was just trying to figure out.
It's the baby crabs.
Blues.
It's the baby crabs.
Well, that's the big crab. No, these are like little pieces of something.
Well, it's a good thing I have butter
They're
cookies for
pieces of
days.
something, all right. I'm not going to say what it is on this show, but it's
The back tells you they're potato chips. Look at that picture of a beautifully sliced potato.
Oh.
Amy,
I'm gonna eat one more. I don't know why.
you eat one more. I'm going to think about my funny bone and the Reese's snack cakes. Interestingly,
No, I have not had these or any Drake's cakes since the lovely Danette sent us a box of Drake's cakes.
yeah,
But fortunately,
And so-
you have been traveling and you found some.
right. And interestingly, it says snack cake, Reese's snack cake, but then underneath it says 2 cakes. So I don't know why they just didn't add an S to the packaging to say Reese's snack cakes.
Interesting. Oh, yeah, and we should say we're going to compare the Funny Bones. So the reason we're talking about these is we're going to compare them to the new Reese's snack cake and see how they rank.
Because yes, they both are chocolate on the outside, and then chocolate cake inside, and then some form of peanut butter cream inside. The biggest difference is that in 2020, the Reese's snack cakes came out, and the Funny Bones, they came out in 1961. So it only took 60 years for Reese's to come out with the Funny Bone.
And for those just listening, Funny Bones are frosted peanut butter cream filled devil's food cakes, and they're shaped like a very short Twinkie.
They're basically a Twinkie with peanut butter filling
It's
coated in chocolate,
coating.
but made by Drake's and not Hostess.
And then the Reese's snack cakes are not that shape. What are we starting with?
I got the Funny Bones ready here. Now, Danette is in our chat tonight. She's with us here. She's saying just lick the outside.
You just lick the bone.
I don't know. Is that what I think she wants to see me getting sexy with the Funny Bone. I don't know.
That is a funny bone.
That's doing nothing for me, though. I need it in my mouth.
Yeah.
I got a mouthful of peanut butter. No, I know why. I took out half the center of mine.
Let Bryan have his moment.
Oh, this is so much better than the fried crabs.
Well, that's a low.
These are so good. These are so good. They're fresh and it's chocolate and peanut butter. Oh,
These are good.
Yeah, those are delicious.
it's kind of like, you know how when you like bake a chocolate cake and then you lick off the frosting and put on peanut butter and eat it?
I don't, but I know somebody who does that.
Oh, you should introduce me.
I should. In fact, you know what? That friend is actually at your place and is hidden inside of your mirror. Yeah, if just.
I'll look later on.
Yeah, just next time you're in the mirror, just look and be like, "Hey, Danny must have sent you."
Oh, these are so good though. Okay, Reese's, you're gonna have to step it up.
The Reese's is like a candy bar size.
I was gonna say they call them snack cakes. They look like bars.
This is small. I mean,
sort of bars, like
I'm going to say something that's going to be really stupid. It's smaller than I expected, but it shouldn't be because it's like exactly the size of half of the package.
And they're very weighty. I don't know that there's much cake in them.
Well, this is a too weighty episode from you, Amy.
Yes. Yes.
Oh. I wasn't expecting that texture. So we went from something that tasted like a fresh cake to something that tasted like what? Like nougat, chocolate nougat.
Oh, that's like a super dense brownie thing at the bottom. Oh, I like it.
I mean, but the peanut butter is very it's more Reese's-y peanut butter than I was expecting. I was expecting more of a peanut butter cream, but this is closer to, but not exactly a peanut butter cup cream.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's closer to Reese's peanut butter than I thought, but it's not Reese's peanut butter, and it needs to.
No.
I really like them though. They're tasty.
The weird thing about these is that they were trying to pass them off as a breakfast food, if you remember.
No, that's right.
Like the idea was like, grab one of these as your breakfast.
Like a protein, right? What's the protein? Does anyone have a wrapper that
I do have the wrapper. I did not destroy mine like an animal.
Okay,
there are 6 grams of protein in the Reese's bar. Although 5 in the Funny Bones.
Oh, actually this was supposed to be a mid-morning snack, right?
Oh, is that what it was? Whatever it is. I have a question. Which one's the evil twin?
I don't know. I like them both.
This is a no-brainer for me. The Reese's is the evil twin here.
I'm with Bryan.
Looking at the texture, when I want a snack cake, I want something that is cakey.
Mm-hmm.
Or fresh, and these could be fresh, but due to the texture, it's never going to have a different taste.
No, it's too dense.
It's true. It's not as cakey.
Mm-hmm.
So it's cakier than I thought it would be after looking at them, if you know what I mean.
It's an energy bar that is not really an energy bar.
Yeah, they're going for the energy bar feel.
Right. If you want the energy bar feel, but with the candy bar nutrition, it's there for you.
Kind of like the Snickers protein bar. Yeah. Like that's kind of what it's reminding me of texture-wise.
But that's not a compliment.
But I like the chocolate. The chocolate brownie tastes better than I expected.
Well, if you want, Amy, you can come to my house and you can have my leftovers. You just have to go out back. There's a nice trash can there. And if you look in it, you're going to find a pile of these.
How many did you buy?
You don't even have to knock. They'll just be out there. There's some raccoons and squirrels that visit, but I'm pretty sure that they're going to leave these alone.
I think Bryan's still going to finish his.
I mean, just for Amy's reference, what time are you going to be throwing those?
Yeah. Bryan, just for my reference, are these bite size?
Oh, the Reese's? Yeah.
I feel like it's bite size, but it's also like a choking hazard.
No. Oh no.
Not if you're an expert. How about the Funny Bones? Is that bite size?
You know what? I'm not going to see if Bryan can put an entire bone in his mouth. I'm just not here for that. That is like for food scientists after dark.
Well, those of us watching on YouTube already saw us lick the bone.
That's true. On that note, thank you for listening, everybody.
Look at Daddy trying to take over.
Great episode. Well, we're just going to stand here. For the people who just have us in their ears, they're just listening to Bryan chew.
It is wrapping up. I agree. But so, yes. Thanks for listening.
That's how I get out of awkward situations, Amy, is I do that in my real life too. If you're, just hanging out with me, and I'm like, and I say something dumb, and I'm like, ooh, then I'm just like, well, thanks for listening. My name is Danny. You can find me every place where you get podcasts. If you enjoyed this conversation, leave a review. Don't forget to subscribe. Ring the little dinner bell.
Danny likes to what I call Tara, turn and run away. But yes, thank you everybody for listening.
And have a great week.
Bye
Bye, everybody.
And YouTube, thank you so much for being here as always.
Yes, thank you so much. It's so much fun with you guys.
This is just for Danette.
But now bite size it. There you go. Yes. Ryan's OnlyFans page. You know, you probably could actually make money with that. Bryan can't eat or talk apparently because he's got a mouthful.
I can't talk either, but it's because I'm grossed out.
I mean, I could have earlier, but
At least we're at the visual port. We're video only at this point, so if there's silence, that's okay.
Yes, Maren, I will expect you to be subscriber number 1, so I'll let you know when I start that. And love.
I want to know how my sister knows about OnlyFans.
She's familiar with my work.
Oh.
Love Travels, just when we're done, just rewind and you'll see it.
Yeah. Everything is archived on YouTube. You can watch it over and over again. We just ask that you do it from a different computer or different browser because that gets us better metrics.
You know, I'll share this, you know, because I feel like most people who are watching later have stopped by now, but we plan on being here next week, but I was maybe exposed to COVID, so we'll see. If you don't hear from us for a week or two, that's why. But yeah.
Because Bryan's on a ventilator. But don't worry. I will ensure he has a feeding tube.
Danny.
What? Too soon?
Yeah.
You'll be fine. I'll take care of you.
Drop off food at your house. I have antibodies.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So feeling great right now, but I just found out about it today. So.
But don't worry. I support you, Bryan.
Yeah, but if you have anything that you want us to try, as always, let us know. We actually have a few things that other people have sent us that we're going to try.
My dad sent these. They're coming alcohol? Up.
Yeah, I have something that listener Heather, one of the Heathers gave us that we're going to.
As long as Bryan is still with us, we'll have them.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I know Annette, Love Travels, has been threatening us with some things too. So I don't know. That's going to be some classic Bryan face.
Perfect.
Yeah.
People love Bryan face.
Oh,
that is true.
I don't, but at least it gets me sympathy, and that's fine.
Yeah.
It gets you attention. So
as long as the subscription numbers keep going up.
You know what? They haven't gone down for a while, so that's something.
Yeah. Yeah. I want us to get 10 more.
Yeah, then we'll be at a solid 200.
Yes.
But yeah, we've actually, YouTube finally started promoting us and like getting our videos out to other people. So like those numbers have been going up. So that's nice to see too. And
we've had Twin Bings, Corey.
Big news. We were number 3 in India last year.
Right.
Yeah, we did for one day. We were number 3 in India for food podcasts.
Yeah. And like for what was it? Arts, we were 13 or whatever.
Yeah, and I think we were like 23 overall in India. But once we stopped eating Indian treats,
I know. So if you see us doing nothing but Indian snacks, that's why
killing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, should we wrap this up, guys?
Bryan, is the rest of your crab chips bite size?
Oh, I dropped them. Oh no.
Oh well, let the dog get them.
Oh, maybe next week.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
Have a great week, everyone.
Fun.
Bye, everyone. Okay. Thank you.